Everyone, welcome back to PintheQ Podcast, special episode number 14. 14. I'm here with Pip. That's how everybody knows you, brother.
That's it, man.
Pip,
That's it.
555. But your real name is
Rob Piparo.
Rob Piparo. So, lieutenant, career guy.
Yes, sir.
And we're
City of New Brunswick.
City of New Brunswick.
Here in New Jersey. Best place in the world.
Jersey is the best place in the world. We get a bad rap, but
we do. We get a really bad rap.
It's a good place though.
You have to own the rap though.
Yeah.
And that makes people more mad.
Yeah.
When I'm like, I don't care. That's cool. That's where
I'm
I'm from. Yeah. Right. That's it. And people are like, "Oh, why you like that?" I'm like, "Cause you just said my state sucks."
Yeah.
Like,
you got to represent.
Yeah,
man.
for sure. Like, I'll take it.
So this is a special episode. We're going to talk about some cool stuff. We got this awesome bag on the table, which we're going to talk about, right? And then we're also going to talk about, more importantly, we're going to talk about you, bro. That's
Sweet.
what this show is about, right? So let's get right into it.
Yeah.
How did this all start for you? How did you become a firefighter?
Whew, we got to go back now.
Yeah.
Got to go back a long time. But
back.
My father was a firefighter.
Oh, good.
He retired as the director of the City of New Brunswick Fire Department.
Very good.
Prior to me getting hired, very much so. I was going through high school, going through the motions, and just trying to figure out what I was going to do in life.
Right.
And I started volunteering with a local rescue squad, with the North Brunswick Rescue Squad.
Okay. And that was volunteer then?
Volunteer, yep.
Yeah.
Now they do like a combination gig.
Yeah.
But we're going back. Oh, geez, I'm 40, so we're going back 20.
The big 40.
Yeah, 40 last year. Oof, it's scary. Yeah. Things change at 40, no matter what anyone says. Things change.
They definitely do. I tell people, I remember when I turned 40.
It's going to be a good year, though. 40 is the new 20, if I keep telling myself that.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So, I became an EMT at 17.
Cool.
Realized that I really liked this. Eventually got hired into career EMS. And realized that I thought the fire end of it was cool because North Brunswick did EMS and rescue. So we had the rescue truck.
Okay.
So I started getting into extrication a lot.
Right.
And learning about that.
So that's where the extrication started.
That's where the extrication started, up in North Brunswick.
Awesome.
Learned from a bunch of guys that worked for UMDNJ up in Newark.
I worked there, great
squad.
place.
Yep.
UAD was awesome.
Yeah. So, we were cutting cars apart. It was fun.
Yeah. And
realized that what my dad did and what I emulated was what I wanted to do. So I started testing pretty much anywhere I could test. And, being from New Jersey, jobs are limited. The test only comes up every once in a while. And it was during the time the state didn't have a test and there were all kinds of problems. So I got a career EMS job working for Robert Wood in New Brunswick. And that led me into dispatch. So I used to dispatch for a while there. I was testing, everywhere. Yeah. And I tell this story all the time because it leads into the fitness end of it. I was up in Boston testing. I think I was 20 at the time. And the guy in front of me was like 6'9", and the guy behind me was like 6'7". It was like a cruel joke. It was like legitimately like, did you guys do this to the guy from Jersey on purpose? And they were all loving it. And, I had to live it up. Right. But at the same time, I realized, listen, I'm in decent shape. I'd always been a gym guy, like gym tan laundry. That's what we do here in New Jersey. Yeah, like Fridays. Yeah. It's a big joke that just came up, but Fridays are bicep day because you were going out on Friday night. Yeah, so if you weren't doing bis and tris on Friday, you weren't spray tanning. Mm-hmm. So, but I realized that's Jersey. That's it.
Yeah, I love it.
It's the truth, though, right?
Yeah,
because
100%.
You read Muscle and Fitness magazine at that time, and you emulate, Arnold and pumping iron and all that kind of stuff. So you're in the gym, and you did this, and then I don't want to knock the microphone over, but you did a concentration where you really squeeze your head more.
Get on a preacher curl.
All the preacher curl with the bar, the easy curl bar. That was one of my favorites, man. Get some tricep kickbacks going. And again, not that there's anything wrong with that. Right. But I realized that there was something else I needed to get this job, and that was big strength and big cardio endurance, which at the time I didn't even know what that meant. But I started running more. I started putting more different things into my workouts. Started deadlifting and squatting way more seriously than I ever had before. And testing. And then when I was 25, I got hired by the City of New Brunswick.
How awesome was that?
It was pretty awesome. To work in the same house my dad works in.
Same house?
Same house, yeah. We only have 3 in New Brunswick. Okay. 2 single engines and 1 with a truck engine chief and rescue. So obviously he worked in all of them. I worked in all of them. But, we both worked on the truck.
How important is that to follow your father's legacy?
It's pretty amazing. And to see him, when guys retire, we just had 2 guys retire this week from my job. And it's hard. You know, it's hard for someone to leave something they love so much, you know, something they've been so passionate about for 25, 30 years.
Yeah. And like I say all the time, I can't believe I get paid to do it.
That's it, right? It's you say it and it sounds like a cliche, but
it's so true.
It's the best job in the world.
It really is.
You get everything you could imagine and more.
Yeah.
So to get hired and to get sworn in and to work, you know, my dad started coming back around the firehouse more.
Yeah, because of you?
Well, because of me, but more to make fun of me and to pick on me. Yeah. And, you know, and he does that still. He's 80 years old, and he still swings in when I'm working. Right? He still has a cup of coffee, and he tells these stories that, you know, there's young guys that
Bro,
would have never heard that.
Those stories you just said, they're invaluable. And I try to tell these young guys all the time, these young girls, take advantage of these senior guys. And they, you know, when they have the opportunity to talk about, first of all, they want to talk about their stories.
Yep.
Right.
For sure.
And the second part of it is you gain so much knowledge about the job, and you know, it's a craft. You know?
It's something that it really hasn't changed, right? I mean, it has changed, but it really hasn't.
Yeah.
And even though I say this line a lot, but it's same circus, different clowns. So I get to go to a lot of different fire departments around the country, right? Yeah. But that's it. You know, we're all cut from the same cloth. We may look different. We may be different races. We may be different sexes. We may be different body sizes. We may make different lifestyle choices, and that doesn't matter.
Right.
If you're there for a reason.
I agree.
And it's way more than a paycheck. It's way more than anything else.
Oh, you know, I get beat up because I say this all the time and I get picked on, but to me, I really feel like it's a calling. You know, you don't just one day decide you're going to be a firefighter. I feel like you've always wanted to be a firefighter, or, you know, people that are police officers and firefighters, they kind of always set that path in their life. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I want to do this. It's not like one day you just wake up and go, oh, maybe I'll try firefighting.
Even if you did that, because I do know people that literally were like, look at that sign on the wall. I'm going to take that test. It looks good. But they wouldn't be here if there wasn't something else.
Right. There's got to be that, and that's what I mean. You know,
like,
when I say that, there has to be something in you. You know, some type of fire. You know.
Yeah, we would make a lot of money if we could figure that one out.
Yeah.
If we could figure out that DNA, that little strand. Yeah. Dude, watching this dude with all this microphone headset stuff, maybe he can figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm confused at what's happening here. But right, that's it.
I told you, bro. This is like a high-speed operation.
This is no joke. This is in my garage, and my garage has never looked like this before.
Yeah, and that's actually funny story. We were talking on the phone. You're like, hey, bro, just so you know, my lights go off with the sensors. If we don't move too much, it's going to go off. I'm like, I got lights.
I'll bring lights, man. And there are these two huge lights staring at me now. It's like we've turned my garage into like a studio.
It's legit, though.
It's getting there. We're getting there.
I will say that this gym is like no one that I've seen before. This is pretty awesome. For a home gym, man, this is legit.
But, again, I take my fitness seriously.
Yeah.
My wife takes fitness seriously.
It's very
my kids
evident
take it
here.
seriously. So
it's very evident.
We try to get out here as much as we can and as a family.
That's cool.
The boys don't like it in the winter. My wife doesn't like it in the winter.
Yeah, it's a little cold.
Little cold in here right now.
I mean, it's not as bad as North Plainfield.
Yeah.
That museum, that was off the charts. It was 21 degrees, and poor Rob Beatty, the captain I was sitting with,
he's like shivering as he's out here, like
every couple of minutes. We had a little warmer like right here. And it was just one of those old school space heaters, you know, the electric ones.
Yeah, it kicks on and off. Yep.
It's like our knees were like right at the tip of the ball of our knee was warm. That was it. Everything else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else worked. So this is a lot better.
We're getting there.
This is a lot better. So your dad was obviously an inspiration for you to become a firefighter, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Now, before you got onto the career department, were you involved in any volunteer departments?
So I did. As I was testing around, I joined the East Franklin Fire Department in Franklin Township, New Jersey.
Squared away place, right?
Yep. They do a lot of great things there, and they still do. You know, we talked about it before. You know, they're one of the first departments in our area to run duty crews. You know, so they have in-house staffing, not all the time, but they're trying.
That's such a smart concept these days, bro.
I
mean, you know, it's tough because it's a culture change. It's certainly be a culture change, but to have, you know, a volunteer department staffed, you're not worrying about defrosting your windshields before you leave to go to a call in the middle of the night. You're already there. It's, you know, you're building a team.
Yeah. Well, so I remember, you know, and I was young. I was 25 at the time. You know, I probably thought I knew everything.
Yeah, we always know everything at 25.
I mean, I probably know everything now at 42. But you know, what's really changed? I'm not sure. But you know, when people would ask me, especially people, because I'm still friends with people that I volunteer there with, and they're like, man, what's it like? Like, what's the big difference now?
The culture, bro. Love it.
Culture and the fact that I knew who I was working with, and I knew who was on the ladder truck, and I knew who was coming from engine 2. And it takes a little bit of time, but I can remember you just show up and
You got what you get.
you get what you get. And it's so hard to get the cohesion. It's hard to get the cohesion when you know people,
Right.
when I know who I'm working with. Now you have to do it where you may have 3 guys, you may have 9 guys, you may have 3 guys over 60, you may have 3 guys under 21. And just that cohesion that we had and that you know what's coming and what's happening was such a big difference. And I feel like with duty crews, you can establish that at least for an engine company. If you can staff an engine, that'd be great.
I literally was just going to say that you could have that same concept in a volunteer department, and it could be successful.
Yeah, and they do it in Maryland.
It doesn't matter if you're getting paid or you're not getting paid. It has nothing to do with it. Professionalism, it's a way of life. Professionalism itself is professionalism. You don't need
That's
a paycheck.
all you have. Yeah, that's all you have.
You don't need a paycheck, and
you
I
can
think
do
that's
it in
important.
Anything you do it. I do it in my not-for-profit. We try to act as professional as possible all the time, right? And you see that in places that exude that out there. And I think it's an important thing.
So when you were a volunteer there, they had a duty crew set up.
They were just starting to set them up when I left.
Okay.
We kind of did like a day crew thing and a night, but it was just getting to like a couple hours.
Right.
So they were smart about the way they did it too, because you went from an all-call system to now like a chief saying like, we're going to do duty crews. But instead of saying like, you owe us 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., we had no beds in the firehouse. We had nothing like that. But it was like, 6 to 10 at night.
So at least you had
something for that little bit of time.
Right.
Because you have to start small.
And you can eat together. You can
eat,
train
you do
together.
A dinner.
Right.
Yep, you can do a training. So that got all your people trained. And now I think there may be up to a point they have always an on-duty officer and an engine crew or 2. I'm not 100% sure. But, it's that in-houseness. And it's just that also speeds your response time.
Of course.
I mean, look nationally. What are we saying? Fires burn hotter. Fires burn faster.
Yeah. The materials you're using now.
That's it. Yeah. And we all know it. But when you take that, I'm going to defrost my windows, come from home, which is dangerous in and of itself, get to the firehouse, get my gear on the truck, make sure everything's good, get out there. That's, I can't give you a time, but 7 minutes. Where when you're in-house, we're out the door in under 90 seconds. That's a long time.
Excuse me. I'm certainly not going to sit here and say, oh, well, the only way it works is if you have a duty crew, because that's not the case. I mean, volunteer companies have been operating like this forever.
Sure.
Right? So it's going to take a lot of buy-in from a lot of people to maybe change the culture a little bit. But there's what, it varies where you go, because some departments.
It works perfect. Listen,
Right.
I've gotten to travel the country, and I know we're going to get into that, but I was in a place in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They had one traffic light, and it was blinking. It's a small town. Everybody, you could almost see the firehouse from every house. Now, they have a big response area,
Right.
but no one really lives out there. So they're able to do that, and they're going on 80 calls a year, where you have places that have built up, and you have multiple traffic lights, and you have highways, and you have
That's a great point. Like a department that was operating one way, and the next the town's booming.
Exactly.
Infrastructure
it's going to change. Yep, it's going to change. It's going to change how you have to run. It's going to change how your department's structured.
Absolutely.
And it's the same thing that when we get into fitness, what is happening around us is changing why we need to be more fit to do our jobs.
Absolutely.
So it all ties in for sure.
100%, bro. So you were in that volunteer company, and then after you got on the career house, is that when you stopped?
That's when I stopped volunteering. Okay. Yep.
So you worked your way up to ranks to lieutenant now.
Yes, sir.
Good for your brother.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
an
you very
accomplishment.
much. It was.
So tell me what it was like being on the job right away, and like explain to me your experience at the fire academy.
So the fire academy was interesting because I had already been through it.
So you had to go again.
We went again. Yep.
Wow.
So in my higher group, there were 6 of us, and then we had 3 other people from other departments. 2 of us had already been through it.
Who'd you go?
Middlesex.
Middlesex Fire Academy. Great academy.
Yep, awesome
Real
academy.
Good. Yeah.
It's actually coincidentally, so my training officer, who worked for my father, then was my training deputy, and he has since passed away from cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry to
but
hear that.
his daughter is my current rookie.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of like a
that's
very
awesome.
cool, it's again, it's that thing. It's that whatever it is.
That
you
family
can always
tradition,
have it. Yeah. So, we went to Middlesex 5 days a week. It was pre-fire 2 days, so you
Yeah.
just did fire 1.
Yeah.
And, you
I had
know,
to
it
take
was-
fire 2 on its own too.
Yeah, I had already had it.
Yeah.
So then I had to test out, like when we all had to test out to get it, when the state did whatever that thing they did was. But it was good, you know, and you got that camaraderie. And
100%.
there was an individual actually there from another department who was sort of that guy who was like, I need a better job. I hear firefighting is cool. And he had no idea what he was really getting into. And he was a little apprehensive.
Yeah.
But again, as a recruit in the academy, we all helped him get through it. And it made that bond of brotherhood. And I still see him occasionally because he's from a different department, but he's doing awesome today.
But I bet you talk to him today, he's 100%.
Oh, it's squared away. Oh, my God.
100% in,
Yep.
right?
And actually, and Chief Bradley, to his credit, you know, he was spending extra time with him. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you have
get
to
him through
because
it. Yep.
listen, most of us come from a firefighting family. Me for one, I mean, both my grandfathers, a lot of my cousins, my uncles. So when I got into this, it was like, okay, I guess I'm going to be a firefighter because you know I have
Here it
to.
is.
Here
I
it
got
is.
it.
So at a very young age, I'm telling you, like, you know, my aunt just recently sent me a picture of me like as 5 years old with a fire truck and a fire helmet on, you know, and it's so funny to see my progression. At age 14, I'm wearing the uniform for the fire department in Beechwood, and I'm 14. You know what I mean? And it's just so cool to see the progression. And now, at my age, looking back, and it's like you know, your dad. You got to see your dad as growing up as a firefighter, and now you're a lieutenant. And that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's
and
good
getting
stuff.
promoted was a big deal. And
Tell me what that was about.
what it was about? It was about making more money. No.
No, I mean, like, explain
no.
how you had to do that.
So
the test, right?
in New Jersey, we have a testing process. I got promoted off my second test, my second lieutenant's test. The process was the same both times. So you take a written exam, which is based off of 5 books. So loads of information. Like, sure, I knew a lot of it, but I'm not the best student, let's say.
Either am I.
So you take your written test, and then you go in for a lieutenant level. You do 2 scenarios, and you have to respond to them to a video camera. So there's no panel. So you're almost like a newscaster, and you get your scenario, and you have to give the appropriate responses to the questions.
Cool.
So the first time out, I did okay. I was low on the list, but I got to act. And was really where I learned how to do that job. Because you're the substitute teacher, the one-day wonder. But when you do it enough and you're getting more comfortable with it, when I went for that second test, I was way more comfortable with my responses.
And then, you know, I tell people all the time, you have to take these tests. And some people say, oh, I'm not ready. Yeah, but if you don't test, you're not getting that testing experience.
Exactly.
Because when the time comes, when you really want to make that push for lieutenant or captain, that's when you're going to be ready because you've already taken these tests beforehand. You can't walk into them like, all right, now I'm ready.
Yeah, there's no way.
You have to prepare.
You have to throw your hat in the ring.
100%.
And you have to be willing to fail because you may fail. It's possible.
Absolutely.
But you'll learn from that. And you're constantly studying. You know, like, oh, you see, oh, the test is coming up. Let me read the book.
You're talking like 6 months of testing or 6 months of training to.
Of prep. They give you the lead time, I think.
Right.
So I'm testing again for captain. I hope.
Good luck.
I hope to be getting made off this last list.
Good for you.
Depending on retirements, but you know, and here I am. I've been reading the whole time. I've been preparing because
you got to study forever, bro.
That's it.
Yeah, you can't pick up a book beforehand.
No,
like we did in high school.
Yeah.
Like
there's no cliff notes. There's no Norman's cliff notes that's going to get you through. Especially if there's the oral board.
Right.
So for captain in New Jersey, you actually have an oral board. And it was a funny story. So we go to take it. My first time, I was nervous because I knew there were going to be people.
Anyone
there.
who says they're not,
they're crazy. Yeah, totally full. Totally. But so I thought that I'd walk into the room and the table would be set up long ways. So I would sit at that end of the table, if you could see where I'm pointing, and the proctors would sit at this end of the table. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
They sit on that side of the table, and you sit right here. And so I think it was
you're like,
oh, my God, yeah, right? So
I've been there.
I'm Italian, like Frank. I talk with my hands. You could probably see this now. I'm getting animated about this story.
We've been doing this all day.
I'm passionate about this story, right? So here I am. It's my second scenario. I don't even remember what it was at this point, but maybe like halfway through as I'm giving my response, I moved my hand forward, and I touched the proctor's hand. right? And this is a retired firefighter. Here he is, this man. And literally, I caressed his hand for a second. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like with my other, while my hand is on his hand. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I didn't mean to touch you like that, sir.
Oh, man, it's awesome.
So now the other proctor laughs. And he's like, well, that's okay, just continue. But now you have to I'm like, what was I just talking about? Am I in a truck company? Am I in an engine company?
Oh my God!
And so you get to go review your test.
I just got up and left. I was just
dude, to listen to the tape and to that part come up. I'm like sitting in the room trying not to laugh at myself.
That is
right?
awesome.
But that's it, and you have to recover from that.
Yeah.
You have to get over that, and then when you think about being a fire officer,
right?
I mean, I have to make decisions right away.
Yeah.
And my decisions.
Life and death decisions too.
It.
And
Yeah.
like I always say this: attorneys have months and years to evaluate what you did and beat you up. You have that much time.
There's no prep. Yeah, there's you have to do it,
Right.
and I'm not the best at it, and I feel like I get better at it every day. And I work with a great crew of guys. I work with a great chief. I work with an awesome shift in a great department, and that's what everybody's going to say. That's what everybody should say.
They should. Yeah, pride in your house.
Yep. But I need those guys to trust me, and I need to trust them, and I feel like we have that relationship.
That's
and
great.
We've definitely been in some I'm not going to say crazy hairy situations, but some stuff that you had to think for a few seconds, and that's what it's all about. So that's what I love about being an officer, is that I get to work with these guys and I get to lead them and I get to say these are my guys, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is you just said it is you work with them.
Yes.
They don't work for you. You work with them because in this job, everyone has to be together.
Yep.
And I know every time I get in that front seat and I look back at my crew, I know when we go to work, I know those guys are going to be right there with me.
Yep. It's the best part.
And back to what we said about the culture of the fire department and the differences, I guess, between having a crew integrity and not. One of the best things I find is the firehouse kitchen.
Oh my God, yeah.
We solve every problem in that kitchen. I swear to God, it's like as soon as we sit down, we actually have this workbench that one of our guys made. It's this huge, massive workbench. So we'll usually sit there and have coffee, and one of the guys will make coffee, and then it's always an argument of who put the wrong water in to make the coffee.
Oh yeah, what scoop are you using today? How many scoops did you put in?
And I have like a special coffee, so the guys are watching right now. They're gonna bust.
You're that guy?
I have a special coffee, right? I go to 7-Eleven, and because I get along with them there, I buy the case. 36. I buy the case that the actual 7-Eleven coffee you buy there, like you get there. I bought that whole case from them. So when they do their orders, I'm like, hey, bro, just
throw one more on there.
Right?
Nice.
So yeah, for $30, I get this huge thing of coffee, and so I bring those in, and it's a red package. So when I come in, everybody's like, "Oh, we gotta have Frank's Arabic coffee."
I'm in.
No, it's Arabic coffee, but I call it Arabic. So we have my Arabic coffee, and it's just it's a funny joke. So like the guys will come in, and the house coffee that the firehouse gets us is like Maxwell House. And it's like these little blue, little blue pouches, whatever. I'm like,
no good.
I'm like, I need the 7-Eleven coffee. So the guys will come in like, oh man, we made the wrong coffee. So it's like an ongoing joke.
But that's it. Like I
love it.
That's
right?
all part of it, right? Who made the coffee? You come in and the shift before you dump that swill out. That is swill. That's their leftover swill.
I tell you what, though, bro. I went to Passaic, right? Episode 7, I believe. I went to Passaic, and
good coffee.
Oh my God.
Like high class. Like
my God. So they wouldn't tell me how they make it because it's a house like secret.
That's good. You gotta have that. That's
it's
good.
A house.
That's good.
But Captain Freeman's like, hey bro, he's like, try this coffee, right? So I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And they're all the guys like laughing, right? Tour 4. And they're like, oh, they're all laughing. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh no, you can't.
I may have to roll up there.
Bro.
Do they do fitness? Do they like fitness? Tour 4, Passaic?
The gym was awesome.
Yeah.
They had an awesome gym.
I gotta check that out.
Bro,
Invite me up there. Hit me up, social media,
Passaic.
555 PIP, Passaic.
You got to bring them up, and you gotta try the coffee. It's ridiculous.
I'm a coffee snob.
Ridiculous.
I'm a coffee snob.
Well,
the coffee you had here was from Rook. That's a Rook
blend.
It's
Rook
right
coffee.
there.
It's very good.
Coffee.
Yes,
yep,
and
yep.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but this awesome coffee I had this morning, and
in the 555 Fitness mug.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
It's bad. No, that's good stuff.
You got to be a coffee snob, though, right? And that's
yes.
I've drank Firehouse coffee again. I get this awesome life now.
Yeah.
Right, and I get to travel the country and meet all these people and have coffee in firehouses in Chicago, Miami, New York, Detroit.
You're living a dream, bro.
I don't know if it's really a dream. it's more of a nightmare.
So back to the firehouse table.
Yeah.
Tell me what that means to you. What does the firehouse table mean to you?
It's family. I mean, that's it. It's my second family.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've cried there. I've cried there from laughter. I've cried there from sadness.
You had me crying from laughter before.
Right? I've told people where they could go at that table, and I've hugged people who needed a hug at that table.
It's the best.
You know, it's just something else.
It's like therapy, right?
Yeah, it really is. And you can, all the world, like you said, all the world's problems are solved there, and most of them are created there as well, just in case you wanted to know. Right?
That's a good point.
Right? But you get around that table, and a retired guy could come in, somebody new could come in, anything. And that's where it all happens. And I love it. I mean, we eat dinner at 6 o'clock. We watch the ABC 7 News. Finish up dinner, Jeopardy comes on, coffee comes out. Like it's tradition, right? It's what you do.
Yeah, it's good.
So yeah, and again, I've been to many now, all over the place, and
that's what's fun about what you're doing. You get to meet so many different cool people. I mean, that's what I love about this show is I get to meet great individuals like yourself. I mean, we've never met before today, and it was.
We met online.
Online. Oh, that's right. He picks up dudes online.
No, I meet dudes online. I don't pick them up. Come on, man.
You know what I mean?
What do you think I'm that? Like, you're gonna take me to dinner if I'm gonna pick you up or something.
Well, you're touching people's hands. I do.
I touch the stranger's hand, but yeah, I do meet a lot of dudes online, and I've met a few girls too, so it's okay. That makes it okay.
Yeah.
It's an amazing world, and everybody, I think, like we said, everybody's cut from that same cloth, and it's fortunate to see that. And something like social media, where we met on social media.
Right.
You know, I'm looking at your water bottle with all these different stickers and my helmet. Like, most of those folks we met on social media.
Absolutely.
You know, and you think about your world and how much bigger it is now and how many people you can impact. I mean, just last night, a firefighter, I liked their picture on social media, and they added me to their Instagram story with like Deadpool giving me a thumbs up for liking their picture. I've never met that person before in my life, but I'm like, that's so cool. Someone thinks that.
But before the episode, we were sitting in your kitchen and we were having some good conversation in the kitchen, which I wish we recorded because that was a great conversation, by the way. But you had mentioned to me like how what you said, the people you've meet online, like on Instagram and stuff, how it's kind of changed your whole outlook.
My God, yeah.
Right, yeah. And I agree because. Just what you said, like these decals on this water bottle. Every one of those individuals, I'd never met them before until this, right? So this opened up so many doors and meeting new people, and you know we talked about this too. We don't make any money, right? Yep. So I think that's the even bigger buy-in. Like we're doing this for the right reasons, you know.
And even if we made money, we wouldn't be. You're not in this to make money,
right?
You know, you may make money because you have a business and you should make money and you spend a lot of money. I mean, you should see this equipment this guy's got. It definitely wasn't free, right?
No, it wasn't.
But you're not doing this to make money. And it's like I said in our conversation before, just the other day, somebody asked me on social media if I was in the business of being a firefighter or was my business firefighting. And it was one of those things where he was trying to feel me out to see, you know, was I just doing this to make money? Was I just doing this? And my response was, yes, I am a firefighter. Like, this is my business, is being a firefighter. But my business with 555 is to make firefighters motivated and inspired to lead a healthier lifestyle.
And you're doing that.
Thank you.
You are. And another quick funny story that occurred, we were talking off camera, was I didn't know you, right? So I was working at the firehouse one day, and one of the guys there, Craig Lewis, who's a firefighter in Millstone Township.
Yeah, which is right next door to where I live now.
Yeah, we're in Allentown, so right next door.
Allentown, New Jersey.
New Jersey,
not PA. Not PA. Hashtag Allentown, New Jersey, not PA.
I was just in PA, Ben Salem.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
Really?
Yeah, it was a fun house. They treated me good, man. It was good. But yeah, PA it's.
I'm not a Philadelphia fan. I like the city, not the sports teams, though. So we can just end it on that. Let's move on. It's gonna get hate mail if we keep going on down that road.
He's on his phone. And he's like, oh, I'm following this guy on Instagram, PIP 555. He's like, we're gonna do some of his workouts. I'm like, oh, cool, man, let's do something because you know you gotta change it up in the gym always. So we're in there working out. So I'm doing your workouts, but I didn't even know who you were.
Didn't even know I existed.
Yeah, it's so cool, you know.
It's some dude, yeah.
But that was like a year ago. So it's interesting how it all kind of comes full circle.
It comes back, man. It always comes full circle.
Yep.
And that's been such a fortunate thing for me. And when I get to travel and go to shows and things and meet people that are like, dude, I just want to shake the hand of the most hated man in the fire service. And they're like, we hate you for like 20 minutes a shift. He's like, I've cursed you so many times.
Oh, that's so funny.
There's a firehouse somewhere in America that has a picture. One guy has me in a headlock. and another guy is pretending to kick me. And they said they were going to blow it up and put it in their gym just for motivation. And I love every minute of it. And
That
they were
is
kind of
so cool.
they were scared to ask me if I would take the picture. And I'm like, hell no, brother. I'm like, I want that. I'm like, send me that picture. Like, I want to see this thing. Like, I want to see this in someone's gym because that's awesome, right? I mean, because I do other people's programming, and I curse the shit out of them when I'm tired in a workout. I'm like, you made this up, Frank. Pin the Q. I'm going to pin, yeah.
Let me just tell you, your workouts are no joke, bro.
Thank you.
Okay?
We try.
And no, they're legit. And I'm not just saying that for the sake of the show. I've done them, and they're no joke. And what I did take out of that is, like this bag, for example, right? We bought one of these bags. One of the guys I work with, Parent, the guy's solid. He's like, we're getting one of these bags, right?
Thank you.
We bought it, and we use it in the gym, and it's legit, man.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
And my story with brute force is it's kind of that same way where the owner tossed me a bag and he's like, bro, go use it. And I went down to Wildwood. My wife and I went to Cape May, actually. We filled it with Jersey Beach sand up to 75
that's
pounds.
cool.
There's an awesome dude. He's a captain in Wildwood, Jim Girl. And he runs a CrossFit gym on a pier in Wildwood.
That's pretty cool.
He had brute force equipment prior. So I went and we did a workout.
Oh,
and
cool.
it was like my jam. It was thrusters, bar muscle ups, and running. I had 75 pounds in my bag, and halfway through that workout, I took the 25-pound filler out and just used 50 pounds because I got owned by that sand.
No
I was
kidding.
like in pain like you wouldn't believe. I called the owner of the company, and I'm like, I'm in. What do you want to do? How are we going to make this cooler? Because this thing is just amazing.
Yeah, it's a great bag, and I love the fact that it's so versatile. And I was like, all those different handles and different concepts. And,
Carry it, drag it, grab
Right.
it, flip it, slam it, throw it,
yeah, it's good stuff.
pull it, run up and down stairs with it. I don't care. Do
So
what you want
since
with
we're on the topic, why don't you tell me about that bag?
it. So that's the
Now
athlete.
I know about the bag, bro, because I've been owned by it. But we have people
they
watching
have it
right
out
now.
there that are like, what is that brute force
Yeah,
sandbag?
we have people watching that right now that have never seen that bag. Or
So there's some cool things about the brute force sandbag. 100% made in America.
that's
Made in-
that's important. That's for me already. I'm excited about that.
Made in Denver, Colorado. We have a lot of what we call home sewers. So they actually pick up their templates, they go home, and they sew at their house.
No kidding.
So, if they want to sew and then do their laundry, they can do that. If they have to bring their kids to school.
That's pretty cool.
Right? And it's an amazing thing.
Yeah,
and
that's
and
cool.
for me, when I got involved with the company, I had no idea
Excuse me.
how deep it was until I actually went to the factory, because we do have a factory too that we make them in. And my grandparents, Italian immigrants, worked as seamstresses when they came here. And it never even dawned on me, they could have sewed this bag today instead of like pants and shirts and
That's pretty neat. Never even thought of it that way.
it was unreal. And when I think about how we sell these bags into the fire service, police, military, those are jobs. When you look at that
Absolutely.
homemade in America thing, that's us. Like, it's unreal to
I
think
like that. I didn't know that, and I like the fact that it is here, made in the U.S.
Cool. There's a tag on it. Maybe you didn't see it, but it says made in.
That's cool.
You got to look harder next time when
Yeah,
you're working out.
when I'm dragging that thing around, I'm cursing. So
Look for the tag, and it makes
I'll look
you
now.
feel,
Look for
think America.
Yeah, now I'll feel better. America.
So this is the athlete bag. This is our most versatile product. It holds 75 pounds of sand. There's a 50-pound filler and a 25-pound filler. We're able to ship it to you empty, which if you've ever bought fitness equipment,
Yeah.
75 pounds worth of shipping, you pay for that because a man has to carry that or a woman somewhere.
Right.
So you're paying for shipping. All you do when you get our product is you go to Home Depot, 50 pounds of play sand costs $5. Unless you live near a beach.
I was just gonna say, unless you do what you do and go to the beach and pull out yourself.
I've learned that's illegal, though.
Oh, is
In
it?
the state of New Jersey.
don't
at
do
least.
that, then.
Don't do that, then. It's
I didn't know that was
illegal.
illegal.
Either did I.
We're not condoning any kind
Negative,
of
no
illegal activity.
Any activity. Do not steal the sand. You could spend $5, right?
Go to Home Depot.
Get it. Or Lowe's. We're also not
Or Lowe's.
supporting
Okay.
one brand over the other.
Okay,
Go
or
wherever you
Lowe's,
have to. Ace Harbor.
I'm new to all that.
Ace Harbor, it's a little hard, or Ace, it's harder to get sand there. It would confuse them.
Okay.
Because I've now had the pleasure of filling brute force sandbags in like 12 different states.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've traveled the country with them, and I've filled a lot of sandbags.
Oh, that's so funny.
So you fill it up, and you can do anything with it, like we just talked about. And it's just a great alternative to traditional weights. And we have a free app. So if you don't know how to use it, there's
that's
2 free workouts
that's
a day.
good.
Brute force training.
That's
and
cool.
there's videos with people doing the workouts on them.
I say this to every guest, but not everyone who watches my show is a firefighter, which I was very surprised to hear that, because I thought, the only people who are going to watch the show are firefighters. Oh yeah, these mics are so sensitive. If someone farts in the next room, you'll hear it.
It's awesome. It's awesome because my kids are out there, so they may be wrestling soon while we're out here.
But yeah,
So it's amazing when you say that too, because it's crazy. We're just talking, and no one even knows what I really do or how I got to this area. But I was fortunate enough to be on the Harry Connick Jr. show. It was Fitness Week, and he had on different fitness trends.
So you're on that show, man, and you come on this little measly show?
Dude, I'm just as happy to be on this show,
That's impressive.
Man. There wasn't a green room there either. I had like a little dressing room, which was cool. There was snacks.
Yeah, but we're in your garage.
We're in my garage. Harry didn't come to me.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I went to Harry. He didn't come to me. But part of it, when we were talking on the show about fitness trends, was that you can work out like a firefighter. You know, you don't need tools like a firefighter, but we work out just like you. You know what I mean? Like people see us, and they see us as heroes or superheroes. But I always say the day that we swear on that Bible or sign up to be a volunteer, we don't get superpowers. There's no gamma rays. There's no spider senses.
We're susceptible to cancer. We're susceptible to heart disease.
Everything, just like anyone else.
Right.
So you have to take care of yourself just like anyone else. So, excuse me. Are there ways I think a firefighter should work out? For sure, that are going to help them, but it's the same as anyone else can do. And that's kind of what led me to getting involved with 555.
Well, that was my next question. So how did this all happen for you? How did you become PIP 555?
I don't know. Well, I was always PIP. We just added the 555. But so funny story as that goes. So I really was into CrossFit. I've done all kinds of fitness. I've run marathons. I've done triathlons. I still bike. You can see my bikes are behind the camera right there. Mountain biking, road biking. I did strict kettlebells for a while, and then I found CrossFit. And I fell in love with it. The style of the workouts, the ability to just go. That 3, 2, 1, go. I was like, this is like a fire. Like you go from nothing to something really rapidly.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And as I was getting involved in that, there was a page on Facebook called 555 Fitness. A friend of mine recommended it to me, and it was basically at the time, Facebook was very different. This is 5 years ago. Instagram was just starting out. Facebook was a different world. And he was putting out free programming every day. He put out all different kinds of workouts. He put out an honor WOD, which was after a firefighter killed on 9/11.
Okay.
And he was putting up pictures, like, for lack of a better term, fire porn, and asking people, are you fit enough to do this job? Are you fit enough to go into that building?
That's cool.
And it really got me thinking. I'm like, man, am I? Like, I think I am. I'm in pretty good shape. But what happened was I couldn't do his workouts at work because they required a rower. They required bumper plates. They required all this fancy type fitness equipment.
And it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. And we didn't have that where I was.
And honestly, most fire departments don't have the budget for that stuff.
You don't. If you're going to buy hose, you're going to buy fitness equipment, you're buying hose.
Right.
If you're going to buy turnout gear, you're going to buy turnout gear, not fitness equipment, especially 5 years ago.
Sure.
So being a typical guy from New Jersey and a wise ass, I started sort of complaining on his Facebook page. Not that I didn't like the workouts, but that I couldn't do them. And it was like, bro, give me something I can do.
Right.
Like, here's what I'm doing in my firehouse. I'm squatting a foam pail. You know, I'm using hoses for battle ropes. I'm running up and down stairs with a high-rise pack on my shoulders because we don't have this fancy stuff. He was from Texas, and he reached out to me personally and was like, hey, bro, we should talk instead of, like, sparring on social media back and forth. So we started talking, and we struck up this little bit of a bromance, as my wife calls it. And
I got a couple of those.
You know, you get a few when you meet dudes online. And we kind of came up with this idea. He kind of had it in his head that he wanted to do more than just put out workouts. But I guess talking to me...
You were the conduit.
Maybe.
Sounds like
I don't even know what it was. We made a great partnership. And the plan was, I had a T-shirt guy. So let's make T-shirts. Let's sell T-shirts, raise money, start our own grant, and give it away, give fitness equipment away.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
So we were literally no idea how to run a business. No idea how to run a not-for-profit. No clue about social media at the time. Just, I'll start an Instagram page. So we did that.
How many followers you have right now?
Across all the fields, over 100,000.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. That's the buy-in right there, man.
It is, man.
Yeah.
And we were able to do so much. We were able to reach so many people, people like you.
And the humble beginnings, man. That's what it's all about.
And really, though, and people say humble beginnings, nothing's changed. We're still doing all our own posting. I'm still making T-shirts. Upstairs in my spare bedroom is where the T-shirts get shipped from. I didn't even show you that part of the house yet. That's awesome. You know, so we're still this humble group of people. And we were able to give our first fitness grant away. Fast forward 5 years, we've donated over $47,000 worth of fitness equipment.
Good for you, man.
And that's to people who want it.
Yes.
You know, who need it.
Yes.
Who
you
don't
think
just
that whole you can lead a horse to water thing.
That's it, exactly. And people ask me, how do we get your grant? And I'm like, you apply. And they're like, that's it? And I'm like, yeah, you apply. But when you apply, I don't want to hear, when I'm given this equipment, we will start.
Right, you should already be doing something.
Already be doing something. You can do body weight. I can own you in 15 minutes with body weight without a problem. So you can use body weight. You can use firehouse things.
Yeah.
You know, you can raise some money on your own and get a sandbag. You know, you can do anything. So we're trying to help those people whose maybe department just doesn't have that means.
Listen, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm very fortunate where I work because the fire district hooks us up with awesome gym equipment. And not only do they give us a great gym, which is 2 different rooms, and it's great, but they're always looking, what else do you guys want? What do you guys
awesome.
need?
What's new? What's trending out
and
there?
that's not normal. So I know I'm very blessed in that respect. Now, in my volunteer department, we don't have a gym, right? And I feel like, you know, we should have a gym, like, you know, and
it's going to attract more people to volunteer.
Yeah,
right?
and
there's an attraction.
And it's only going to help all of us there.
Exactly.
And my past chief on my volunteer department in Stafford, her name is Heidi. She had actually an episode, and she's huge into the CrossFit world. And now she's actually become an instructor. She went out and got certified.
That's awesome. You got her level 1.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So she's instructing now, and she loves it, you know. And so it's interesting that she's so committed, you know. But she's no longer chief. But our firehouse, we don't.
It's hard.
You know,
it's a hard thing. It's a new concept.
But that's my point. Not every place has it.
No.
Right?
And 5 years ago, people say we caused the change, is what people say. 555 Fitness is the reason fitness is so important.
Well, you changed the culture.
Yes,
you did.
I guess. It's
you
hard.
Absolutely did.
I don't know. There were a lot of people.
You're a humble guy, bro.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people, and I appreciate that. I do. I really like humble people.
Thank you.
But I'm telling you, you made a huge.
We had a huge part of that, and we did that through positivity, because like we talked about before, the fitness world it's an interesting place, and there's negativity that comes out of this.
Sure.
And you need to seep through the bullshit and get to the people that really want to help the people. And it's like you said, Heidi, like CrossFit. CrossFit gets a bad rap, right? For whatever reason, and there's a lot to CrossFit that a lot of people don't know. But you talked about her getting her level 1 and being passionate. It's about helping people. And that's what we do as firefighters, police, EMTs, we're helpers. But no one was really helping us at the time. So what our founder for 555 thought is, let's help ourselves. And let's show the people that matter, people with the dollars and cents, that if we want to give back to ourselves to make ourselves better, you should be doing it too. And that's where amazing. I think 555 is one.
That's great.
But through that humble just growth.
Yep.
And I mean, if you look right behind you, there's a huge fire service company now that's supporting our mission.
This is a big deal.
Yes.
This is a big deal, man. I mean, you know, when you get corporations like that see what you're doing and like, yeah, we want in.
Yep. We want to help you support those. We're going to make a great product, but we want to make sure the person wearing that product is as healthy as they can be.
Speaking of which, you had me try that jacket on before. I can't believe how light that thing is.
It's super light. It's crazy how light that thing
I
is.
was completely blown away by that. I'm like, you're like, feel how light this is. And you know, I wear turnout gear all the time. I'm like, holy cow.
Granted, there's nothing in the pockets because we're our own worst enemy,
oh,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If they make turnout gear lighter, we add more crap in our pockets. I do a pocket dump about once a month where I'm like, where do I even get this thing from? Like, what is this for?
we just had a call 2 days ago, and it's the one thing I always forget to put in my coat is a beanie.
Oh my God!
Or a watch
for the
cap
winter? Yeah.
For the winter. I always forget. Now I have it in my locker at work. I have it. And I always say to myself, put it in there, but I don't. But do you hear that?
Yeah, something happened there on your mic. Did you knock it out?
I don't know. It's like a weird echo.
And we're back.
We're back. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we figured it out.
Somebody bumped the table. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, like you were saying, see the new people, they have no clue what it was like.
The kids would not know
Right?
about DJs and records
Yes,
and
yes.
bumping the table because
Because-
now it's all on a computer. And I mean, DJs still like, but it's computers.
Yeah,
like,
but it's all
not,
digital.
Yeah, there's not a record
It's
anymore
not the
spinning.
same.
Yeah, you don't have to. We talked about this. Like, have you ever had a friend that DJ'd and you were trying to help him out? You had to carry like crates of records and you had to carry these big speakers.
That was me.
Yeah, now a kid, I did it too. No way, man. That's
Yeah,
what,
man.
Yeah,
I
I did.
DJ'd.
Oh, dude.
I DJ for so many years.
Oh,
bro.
I didn't go that long, but it was like a high school thing.
Oh
It
no,
was
I
fun.
did it. I did everything. Weddings. I had all my own company.
Because you're
you
from
know?
New Jersey.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
had their own.
Everything.
Did you have a smoke machine?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Of
you
course
were
I
high
had a
tech.
smoke
Like, that's good shit.
I had the truss lighting.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I was like the high school party DJ. Like,
yeah.
I thought.
That's where I
was
started
gonna
in
be
high
that.
school.
I thought I would be that guy, but then I didn't be that guy. Then I got tired of carrying the crates.
Oh yeah. Actually, I used to DJ a couple clubs, and I used to have the milk crates.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so I'd drive around town, look for all the milk crates that were
Did you-
laying around. I swear to God. And then I'd find them.
Did you ever, wait, did you ever DJ at like Hunka Bunka or Club Abyss?
I didn't DJ there,
But you went there.
but I went there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
I
That's
went
New Jersey. If you're from Jersey and you've been there,
Yeah,
we're down,
I've
man.
definitely been there. Yeah.
Tell me, when you meet me, tell me you've been there. That's
Oh,
good.
yeah. But I tell you right now, I remember, I'll tell you this really funny story. So the Seashell in Long Beach Island, I was DJing there,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if you've ever been there. It was a cool place. It's still there. Still, you know, I don't know if they do the DJ thing anymore, but this was in the 90s.
Yeah, so
all
we
right?
were partying then.
Right, this is the 90s. So I'm DJing. Now I'm kind of like on an upper scale. Like it's a higher venue. It's like the
Yeah,
DJ
you're
booth
up in
is
the
kind
DJ
of
booth, yeah.
So I'm kind of looking down, wherever. And typically I didn't see anyone because the door was locked, and I had my records, my two Technique 1200s, and I just had my my vinyl, right? So I'm up there, I'm playing Alyssa Melendez and Coro and all this stuff. You know what I'm talking about, right? So
Sometimes that gets played in the ladder truck.
Oh, it's awesome.
Sometimes.
that's awesome. So I'm playing. Next thing you know, I'm like, I'm in the middle of my mix, and I'm trying to listen to. Back in the day with the vinyl, you had to actually listen to like.
Yeah, 'cause you had to find where the needle was going or where you were going to
Right?
be.
And,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? So, and it wasn't like you had the option of a tape deck, but you don't use the tape
Yeah,
deck.
no,
you know?
no, no.
It's only for emergencies. Like both
If everything went down, then
both
you
your
started playing
stand
the tape.
needles broke, you're screwed. Then you have the tape deck. So I'm DJing. Next thing you know, I look up and there's a girl right there, and I'm like, now this is 8 feet,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
you know, at least
Yeah.
10 feet. I'm like, how are you here? Where'd you come from?
She scaled the wall like
And she's
Spider-Man?
hammered, right? She's hammered, and I kind of look down, and there's just like this guy, and she's on his shoulders, and now she wants to hear something, so she reaches over.
Oh, no.
She reaches and grabs the records, like, right? It's
Everybody's
scratching.
looking at you like.
The music stops. Everyone starts, yelling because there's alcohol involved.
Yeah. And it's New Jersey, so they're going
Right?
to be
So I'm
angry.
like, oh no. I was like in the process of getting the next record set up, so nothing was there. So I was panicking, like that full on panic, and like then the bar manager was like screaming,
Like staring at you.
something.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Oh my God! I'll tell you how long ago it was. It was like when House of Pain, Jump Around just came out.
Oh, my God. So you're talking like 94.
Yeah,
92
it just
maybe.
like
Yeah,
I dropped
92,
that.
90.
It was like, it was like,
Let me get everybody going again.
Yeah, so it's
good
funny, man.
times. And we digress from Firefighter Fitness. to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Go
It's
New
just
Jersey.
so funny, man. Like,
Yeah, it's
you
it's
talk
good.
about bumping the table.
It's that stuff too, though. That again, with firefighters, with police officers, EMTs, we have these things in common.
Absolutely.
That you're more than that. And even with that, we talked about it a little before, but for 24 hours, I am the best fire lieutenant I can be. 8 o'clock this morning, I got relieved. I walked out the door. It doesn't mean I'm not a firefighter anymore, but now I get 72 hours to be dad.
Absolutely.
To be Mrs. Pip's husband, to be the 555 fitness guy, and then I go back and I get to have the best 24 hours of my life and then go back to my other life and then go back to that. And I think that's something, that bond again that we have in common, where we get it. You get that difference between here and there. And it doesn't mean that I quit, again, being a firefighter when I'm not there. I take everything home with me, just like we all do.
Absolutely.
Because there's things you're never going to forget. But fitness is another outlet for me to get rid of those things and for me to bond with people. So you'll be one of the very few people who've been in this room with me and not worked out.
Yeah.
This time.
This time.
Next
I'll
time you come
work
back.
out. Absolutely.
It's better in the summer. We open the
Yeah.
doors. We go. Well, I live in a cul-de-sac, a huge cul-de-sac. We're out there flipping tires, throwing sandbags around, rowing. My neighbors, when I moved in, I've been lived here a year. Last summer, they're like, what do you got going on, man? Like, what's going on over here? Like, the new guy in the neighborhood's flipping a tire across our cul-de-sac, like, and throwing a sandbag into it and then jumping into it.
That's cool.
So yeah, but that's it. It's another tie that binds you. And when we get back to prior to bumping the table, we were talking about like Globe MSA.
Right.
And they see the value in that. They see the value in the person who wears their gear. And at work, I don't even wear Globe. We don't even use MSA packs. And they don't care.
Right.
You know, they want to be a part of what 555 has grown into.
So it's your mission that they're buying into the mission.
It's the mission, and it's funny too because the name is 555 Fitness, and we put out workouts. And sure, we do tell people, oh, look who's here, man. Oh, Mom said you guys can come. Holy cow! Well,
we got the kids.
Can you try? Come here for 1 second, guys. We got to be really careful, okay? Because we just had some technical difficulties. Hang on. So this guy's Declan. The camera's over there. Say hi.
So there's the camera right there.
Right? And then switch over so your brother can come here. He's got to talk into the microphone. This guy is Finn. These are the mini pips, right? Hi. So they just wanted to pop in and say hello, okay? Yeah. All right, guys, back at it. Oh, buddy, you can't do that. We're going to make too much noise, Dex. Okay? Go back out with Finn.
It was nice meeting you.
So you never know when that's going to happen
that's
at my
awesome.
house either, right? And see, now I'm like...
That's why I like this show, man. It's raw.
It's very raw. This is the
no
real
script.
deal, man.
There's no script in this.
This is my life. And now I'm like, man, what were we just talking about? Where was I going with what I was saying? Like, what was I saying?
You were talking about the gear.
And the gear, and then wanting to put back into what you're wearing, right? Like I said, the mission. So that mission, and we're a fitness page, right? And we put out workouts every day. But we don't tell you how to work out. Sure, we tell you how to do the moves in our workout, but people always say, like, can you put out plans? Can you give me a nutrition plan? Can you give me this? That's not really what we do. We become this motivation and inspiration page because our passion for fitness, we want you to have the same passion.
Absolutely.
And when I look at those people, like I was telling you, from around the country, they all feel the same way. And now you have companies like Globe.
This is a big deal, man.
Yeah, like Zoll on the EMS side.
Right.
I mean, we do the Assault on CPR Challenge with the Assault bike that's next to me. Assault has been a great partner of 555 since I met them, man, date myself 4 years ago now, I guess, for sure. 4 years for them and Brute Force.
And that bike's pretty high speed, man.
The Assault bike is horrible, man. That's the devil's tricycle right there. we put you on that for a minute, and then we ask you to do 2 minutes of hands-only CPR. And we hook you up to the Zoll X Series. Well, we don't hook you up, but you're doing CPR on the Zoll X Series monitor.
Okay.
And they're able to give you active CPR feedback.
Oh, that's cool.
So they know your compression rate, if you're going deep enough. The first minute, we don't let you see the monitor. Legitimately, after a minute on that thing, max calories, everyone is pushing too deep and way too fast because their heart rate's up.
Right.
But think about it.
Yeah,
you go on a CPR call.
Yeah.
Think a downed firefighter CPR call. Your heart rate is going to be through the roof.
It's going to be extremely elevated.
So you have to think of a way to control yourself, right? This is what we're trying to teach you through fitness and a job-related task. And we partnered with Zoll and Assault with that. And we've done it now, I think, 9 times.
That's cool.
Every time we do it, people are like, this is amazing. We just had the chief of Prince George County Fire when we were in Maryland do it. He had his recruits there, and they were doing it. Chief jumped right in.
Good for him.
And I honestly forgot his name, and that's horrible on me, and I'm sorry, Chief, but good on him. And he saw the value in it. And he wasn't playing. I mean, he was going on the bike, and he was getting after CPR.
Good.
It was awesome to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good stuff, man, right there. Right?
That's it, because, again, it's more than like we talked about before, like gym tan laundry.
Right.
I'm not doing fitness so I look buff. Right? It's a byproduct of it that you do look good, and everybody's spouses are happy that their spouse looks good. But what we're trying to do is make you healthier. And we talked about this before the podcast again, that I was at the NSCA's TSAC, so the Tactical Athlete Conference in Florida. And NSCA is a great organization. They are very science-based. So a lot of smart people about fitness. Fireman.
Right,
maybe not as smart as those people, let's say, right? And I was in a big round table room. Everybody was talking. And they were getting way off into a tangent about BMI and about nutrition and about all this scientific fitness stuff, which I think is awesome, but doesn't translate down to a regular firefighter who may have never thought about fitness before. And an individual stood up in the front of the room, very well respected in the NSCA community, in the fitness community, in the fire community, and said, he asked the question, do you need to be fit to fight fire?
Everybody kind of looking at each other, right?
And everybody's kind of looking at each other. And he asked it again. He's one of those dudes, like that command presence.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he's like, I'm asking all of you, do you need to be fit to fight fire? And I'm thinking, I'm like, man, what's this answer going to be? Like, what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
And he goes, you know, I've been at this for, 20-something years. Some of the best firefighters I ever worked with smoked cigarettes, drank beer, ate the worst foods ever. But I would go on a roof with them any day of the week.
Great point.
Great point, right? You don't need to be fit to do the job. Now, adrenaline is what's getting them up there.
Correct.
Right? Their drive, their passion, what makes them a great firefighter. But what about what it does to their body?
And what happens after?
They have a heart attack and they die. And that's where 555 was born out of. So what he said that day is, no, you don't need to be fit to fight fire. You need to be fit to live after the fire.
Right.
And that's
what happens to you after.
Yep. This job takes a toll on your body.
Absolutely it does.
Mentally, physically. We see it now with PTSD, with police officers, EMTs, paramedics, firefighters. You know, we started 555 and we were like dumb idiots. Like, we like to lift weights. Now we're talking about PTSD. You know, we're
Such
talking
an important
about all
topic
that,
now.
right?
Yeah.
And you see that. And so, no, you don't need to be fit to fight fire, but you need to be fit to live a healthy lifestyle, not mask pain with alcohol.
So those that aren't familiar with 555, and I love that we're talking about their mission, which is so important. But explain to the viewers how they came up with 555.
Yep. So again, our founder, captain in Fort Worth, Texas, used the number 5 and the 555 to be synonymous with line of duty death. Because of the alarm code, most departments now ring out to signify a line of duty death. So the city of New York is 4 5s.
Right.
My department is a single 5. The city of Chicago is 335. And if you go back to the bell systems, usually that number 5 was synonymous with the call being over, the company coming back to rest. So it's the same as a firefighter when they pass away, they're going home to rest. Yeah, so we ring that out.
That's such a great thing.
And our initial mission, and it's still our mission, is the reduction of line of duty deaths due to cardiac related disease. Because that is still, technically, if you look at the numbers, the leading killer of firefighters.
Yep. And it happens all the time.
And it does.
Yeah. And that's what's great about Captain Bugio program, right?
Amazing in New Jersey. Captain Bugio, yep, you get to go, you or any member of your family gets to go for
free.
Comprehensive cardiac screening.
For free. And that's a program that's truly free.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone should be taking advantage of that.
Your insurance, they get what they can from your insurance, but that's what keeps
nothing
them
out
going.
of pocket.
Yeah, and so the story of it too is an amazing story. Dominic Buscio was 39 years old, in shape, on a ski vacation, and had a heart attack. His wife took part of her.
Not supposed to happen.
Not supposed to happen at all. He had a condition that nobody knew because he didn't get screened for it. So his wife took part, I believe, of her death benefit and started the Gift for Captain Buscio project.
Such an important thing, man.
And I went just this last year, and I did well. I was very happy to find out. I was nervous.
Yeah.
And there's a reason right there why we don't get screened. It's because we don't want to find out if there's something wrong with us.
You know people I talk to that say, I don't get a physical because I don't want to know.
That's it. You don't want to know, right?
A lot of people.
And Captain Buscio didn't know. Not that we don't know if he did want to or not, but he didn't know.
I have heart disease in my family, and most Italians do.
Yeah, you're gonna have something.
So I was a little nervous too when I went, and I'll never forget waiting in that room for the doctor to come in. At the end, and I'm waiting, and he finally sits down, just like we're sitting here.
Yep.
He sits with you, and he goes over everything with you, and he's like, okay, well, look, you want to change this change that, and this and that, but I left. I had peace of mind when I left. At least I'm like, okay, I feel better.
And that's it. And it's amazing. And that's another byproduct of 555 Fitness has been talking about getting screened, going to the doctor, get checked out.
So 555 is more of, it's an institution more to help motivate and push and drive people, would you say?
That's what we become, yes, for
Good.
sure. And we didn't know we were going to become that. And maybe 2 years ago, I think, when I really realized that's what we were doing, because I was meeting people around the country, or they were messaging me, or messaging the page, or someone else, and saying thank you. Like, I saw your post, and I thought that could be me. Or I saw you posted a bigger guy working out. In the fitness world, you usually don't post a bigger guy working out, right? You post a model.
Right.
Or I saw you
Or what
posted,
people think we should look like.
yeah, exactly what we should look like. And
Right.
he's like, I saw you saying that, you don't have to look like this. You have to be doing something to better yourselves. And people were getting inspired. And it's unreal to think that I was part of creating that to me, and that it just continues. I mean, we get messages daily saying that now.
That's great.
And it's worldwide. That's the other crazy part too, like prestige worldwide. Like we have
prestige
it now.
worldwide.
That's us. Security.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
man.
what has PIP gotten out of this? What has it done for you personally?
Oh my God, man! It's made me a better person, first and foremost, for sure. It has humbled me in ways I never would have thought. It has introduced me to people around the world who are some of the best people I've ever met. Some who are going through some of the worst times of their lives I've met through 555, and I've been able to support, and they've been able to support me. Trucker Dukes, the anniversary of his death is tomorrow, actually. And he was a little boy from Hawaii who had cancer. His father was a firefighter for the Maui Fire Department. They couldn't get treatment in Maui, so his mother came to New York to get treatment in New York, and left Shauna, was Trucker's mom, left Joshua on Maui with their 3 other children.
Okay.
My wife saw the story on social media and was like, you need to send these people T-shirts now. And I was like, okay, like whatever you say, dear.
Yeah.
Like, yes, ma'am. So that's what I did. I messaged them on social media because she was telling her story on social media, and my wife saw it. But what I did was I wanted to send her stuff in New York, and I said, hey, I need your address in Maui because I'm going to send your husband some stuff. Awesome. I sent her some stuff, sent him some stuff. When he got the stuff, he's like, oh my God, I love 555 Fitness. I do your workouts.
That's funny. Just like I was saying earlier.
Right, yeah. And it's like, whoa. So he thanked me, and my wife and Shauna started talking, and they were only in Manhattan. And one day, maybe like a month or 2 later, I can't, the timeline is very screwy in my head, but Shauna wrote like, Sleepy, New Jersey is so different than Manhattan. And my wife messaged her, and she's like, you're in New Jersey? Are you at the Cancer Center of New Jersey? Because we have it in New Brunswick. And she wasn't, but she was in the next town over because Trucker was getting proton therapy.
Okay.
And what had happened in Manhattan was Trucker befriended a firehouse that was local to the Ronald McDonald house he was staying at with Captain Jim Grismer.
Yeah, I
was
saw
on
that.
an alarm, and he gave him a big hug.
Yes, I saw that.
So that story started getting picked up, and I was following it. But it was cool that these guys were helping out Trucker.
Yeah.
He basically became a member. It was unbelievable. That
FDNY is just so amazing, man.
So I said to Shauna, I said, hey, if Trucker wants to come by, if you guys want to come by, I work in New Brunswick, next town over, come. And she's like, really? That'd be awesome. So they were supposed to come on a Saturday that I was working, and Trucker was too sick from his treatment. She's like, how about Sunday? And I'm like, cool, I'll come back in.
Right.
Well, lo and behold, I got overtime that day, so I actually didn't have to come back in. Shauna and Trucker came and spent, I figured it was going to be maybe an hour with us.
Right.
They were there for 5 hours.
That's cool.
Truckers running around the firehouse. The guys are playing with him. He's
That's
eating.
awesome.
So in New York, he ate. They made him mac and cheese all the time. We didn't have mac and cheese, but we had another guy's Apple Jacks that were in the locker, and I'm like, eat these Apple Jacks. Don't worry about it, Trucker. Go ahead, man. Right. So I met these amazing people. Lo and behold, one of the guys that Trucker adopted in New York was a huge 555 fan, Lieutenant Bobby Jones.
That's cool.
We become friends, and we went in several other times. We met Joshua, we met all the other kids, and sadly, Trucker was not getting better, so they went back to Maui. They stopped treatments, and eventually, cancer got the better of Trucker. But his story resounded worldwide, and it taught us all about strength, and their strength. His parents' strength was unreal. So with 555, we always talked about strength.
Right.
But here I am, and I met the 2 strongest people I know.
That's amazing,
and had
man.
nothing to do with fitness. And through some very generous people on Maui, I got to be a part of an entourage of 23 FDNY firefighters and myself flown to Maui for his memorial service.
Oh, that's special, man.
And they're some of my best friends to date. And they're running a 5K tomorrow for him, which is even
so
more
cool.
awesome. But again, that's something that I've gotten out of it. It's a story like that I got to be a part of.
That's very inspiring. And when I asked you what you get out of it, that's it, man.
That's it, right?
That's it.
It's I don't even
It
know
really
how to
doesn't get any
describe
better
it.
than that.
No, it doesn't. And sadly, there was a young child who lost his life and a family who lost a child.
Right.
But we all learned so much about that.
And it's amazing how his life, transcended other lives and then changed other lives,
Forever.
Forever.
I mean, like, I've made friendships forever because of Trucker. I've met strangers because of Trucker. I see stickers. You wear a Trucker shirt and you're in Disney, and someone's like, Trucker Dukes. And it's like...
That's so inspiring, man.
And it's because it's like with us and his family, they didn't ask for any of this. It just happened because they're such genuinely great people. And so many things like that have happened for 555, but that's probably the most meaningful for me. And it's one of those things that it chokes me up now as I'm trying to stumble through my words a little bit. Yeah. But it was that meaningful. And for all my people who never met him, it's still the same. And that's it.
Good for you, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Good for you. I have a lot of respect for you for what you did, and that's why I'm doing this. These are the stories that need to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is the special stuff that happens with firefighters behind the scenes. Although that was very public, but we're doing that kind of stuff all the time. How many times have you opened up your firehouse door to a kid walking by or anybody walking by? Hey, you want to come in and take a look? Like, that happens on the daily.
Nationally, there's a kid sick in the hospital likes firefighters. They go see him.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And same police. We talk firefighters because we are, but so 555 started with firefighters in mind. And we started then knock on the door. Hey, we're cops. Can we apply for your grant? At first, we're like, no, you're cops. Like, you should have been firemen. Duh. Right? But that was because we really didn't know what we can do. Now, with the grant program, police, fire, EMS, lifeguards, helicopters,
awesome.
I don't care who you are. If you're an emergency services provider and we can help you, we're there for you.
Great. That's great.
And of course, we rib back and forth between all of us because that's what we do, right? Yeah, you need to have that.
Yeah, and it's all healthy.
Right?
Very healthy.
You see that kind of stuff, like cops showing up at Christmas, cops, you name it, like whatever it is we're going to do. And what happened in all of that, though, is we tend to forget to help ourselves, right? We're all told you shouldn't make yourself number one. And not that we're doing that, but we forget to give back to ourselves. And so you take a firefighter when he starts his career, right? Yep. Peak physical fitness usually, right? Young, ex-college athlete, whatever you want to say.
You got the V.
Got the V, yeah. Took the test, got the 9-pack like Lego Batman, all that stuff, right? But what happens is you get into helping other people, and you get into the job, and fitness culture is not that big, or wasn't that big in the job. It's just
Definitely
something
not,
that happened.
No, we started. No way.
For sure.
No one even talked about it.
No, I mean it was like you work out, keep it on the TL, and we start giving to others. And we start helping and become that helper. And, you have those guys that are doing everything for the community, but what are they doing for themselves? And what we've done with 555, again, is taught people it's okay. 20 minutes a day. Give it back to yourself. 30 minutes on the assault bike. I mean, that's hell. Don't do that. But,
30 minutes.
But, just a little bit of time each day. And when we do it together in the firehouse, it creates a team within the team. And we all stumble. I'm not going to lie, I haven't been working out at the firehouse like I should. Just yesterday, and it had nothing to do with this today, one of my guys is working out. He's like, dude, I'm going to deadlift with me. And I'm like, I'll jump in, man. Let me jump in. One of our rookies is like staring, and I'm like, dude, you know how to deadlift? He's like, no. I'm like, let's go, man. We'll load you up a bar.
I'm going to show you right now.
Right now, we're going to show you, man, in uniform. I had my radio strap on at first. I went and got changed real quick, but we're going to do it. So, we're deadlifting. And then the one guy I was working out with was saying how we used to do all these different things. And I'm like, man, we got to get back to that. And I'm like, come on, bring Sally up push-ups. So the Moby song Flower, let's bring Sally up, bring Sally down. I got my chief out. I got another 2 guys out.
That's
and we're
awesome.
there. And we did it. And we even told the rookie, hey, man, you're going to fail. We're probably all going to fail. I failed twice. That's the worst thing ever is that with push-ups. But you do it to the song, and that's it. You all do that together.
And you don't even realize you're doing it, but man, you're building this amazing bond.
That's it. Because you know that guy, if that guy's putting it out there in a workout, he's going to put it out there when the alarm sounds.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about fitness, man. That's again, another thing that I've gotten back from fitness that was way more than like two dudes who wanted to work out.
Yeah. It's pretty inspiring stuff. I mean, you know, I didn't know any of the things you told me beforehand. And, you know, like we talked about this, my show is unscripted. And you can vouch for that.
My kids came running in. What are you talking about? Like?
Exactly. So it is what it is. But earlier you were telling me, again, off camera, we were just BSing. And we were talking about, you know, how every time you pick up that bag, it reminds you of something. What is that?
Yeah, so I've had the unfortunate experience of removing a downed firefighter from a building. Firefighter Kevin Apuzio lost his life, and I was at that fire, and I was part of removing Kevin from the building. And when I think about that day and how it affected me, and I think about grabbing his arm and his body to move him, and when I think about grabbing the sandbag, not the handles, but the actual bag, it's the closest fitness thing I can think of to prepare me to have to do that again, you know, is to be able to just grab in there and have to hold someone and pull them out. And it's a very odd thing that I never thought would happen, but it's something that it makes me think of that. So what's up, buddy? You got to head back, man. You back in? You snuck out again? Mm-hmm. So it's something that, again, it translates to literally the worst firefighting day of my life. We responded mutual aid to the fire, and when we arrived was pretty much when the chaos was going on and the floor was collapsing. So it was a different day. It was a different time. But I've learned a lot from that experience, and again, I can thank my fitness for that day. It was pre-555, but I had a higher fitness level, and I was very proud of that. Hang on, bud. To think of how long we operated there, and that myself and my crew were able to continue to operate was unbelievable.
That's crazy, man.
Right?
So,
can you talk into here? Yeah.
What do you want to say?
What do you want to say?
Just anything.
Just anything? Okay, say anything.
So, Fitness is a very good company that helps us be spawn and brave. So if you want to be one, just come on down to the word.
Good job, man.
Oh, good job,
I love
buddy.
my ad for 555, man. All right, go back in with your
And
brother.
you didn't even have to pay for that.
I didn't even pay for that, man. I didn't even tell him to do that. He just came out here and decided.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, oh, be careful with the table.
Yeah,
Don't bump the table.
it's a 90s
Yeah,
record.
he doesn't know. See, I'm a bad dad, but my kids will know about bumping the table now. We're gonna watch
awesome.
that, right? And there we are, right? And
That dude, that's so
and that's
awesome,
it, man. That's my little guy.
That's so cute, dude.
You know, but and what happened with Kevin was pre being a dad, and that it affected me really bad. I definitely. At that time, we had some deaths in New Brunswick too, line of duty, active duty. I was younger, newly married, and was drinking way too much. Thought I was fit, but was masking the pain of what happened to Kevin with alcohol, without a doubt.
Never a good thing, bro.
Yeah, and not mixing it with work or anything like that, you know, but drinking way too much. And it's one of those things we use to justify it. Like, oh, I'm not a bad drinker. I go to work. I'm fine, you know, and I don't drink at work. Right. But it still was an issue for me. And I sought out some help afterwards. And it's funny because it's not funny, but we were talking about it. Like even in my talks with my therapist, I replaced drinking with running because I really got into distance running. And
that's where you and me are different. I hate running.
You're not.
I hate it.
Maybe I don't like it so much anymore.
Oh, I hate it.
But at the time, I really did like it.
Bikes, elliptical, pre-core, no problem.
Dude,
running,
ellipticals for old people, man.
Listen, man.
Don't do the
You know what?
elliptical.
You know what I find works? It's off topic, but treadmill, 4 miles an hour, 15% incline.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I can't run on the treadmill.
I don't run. I walk.
You just walk up with the hill?
It's. I look like those old people in the mall. That brisk walk.
We're gonna get you a brute force vest, an operator vest. So at least you could put the vest on. It could be empty, but you look cool with that, right? But that's it, and it's something that again, like, you have to find something. You have to find an outlet, because this job, what you see, what you do, it affects you, man.
It absolutely can eat you up.
Yep.
And spit you out.
Easily. And you don't even know it.
And we've seen it happen.
But you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Most people don't stop. And when I think about like a good fire, I'm sore afterwards. My shoulders are sore, my back is sore, my knees are sore, and I'm like, man, I'm fit. And then I look around and I'm like, well, I don't want to say I look around because I'm not looking at the guys I work with or anything, but like, you think about unfit firefighters. How do they feel if they're in a fire?
Listen, I'm certainly not going to call anybody out, but I could tell you right now, there's individuals that come to mind that we're on the fire ground together. I'm nervous, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm nervous. And when I say that, I just mean that it's almost like a ticking time bomb, you know? It's almost
They're
like
just waiting. And people talk about that. People talk to me about that all the time.
Yeah.
And they talk about themselves that way. And I'm like, man, if you think you're a ticking time bomb,
do something
you gotta
about
do
it.
something.
Yeah,
about
you got to do something about it.
You got to make some small changes.
Yes.
Some small changes for sure. And it's a simple thing, like small diet changes. Like, so I'll travel everywhere, and people will be like, you know, Pip, we want to take you out to dinner tonight, but I'm like, steak, potatoes, beer.
I eat those things.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my God, we thought you only ate tofu and had salads, and I'm like, I do eat yogurt and salads, but I eat real food too. It's not extreme. I think firefighters think that fitness has to be this extreme thing. Diet has to be this extreme thing.
Because everything we do is an extreme.
You're right. And it is a type A personality, right? And there's some workouts that, sure, I do some extreme workouts. I don't do them at work. I don't do them on duty. But I definitely do some extreme workouts.
By looks at this place, I see that.
Stuff goes down. Stuff goes down.
So you have some of these things on the wall here. So, I mean, this when I see this kind of stuff, bro, to me, it's the buy-in.
All this stuff back here, yeah.
This just means that people buy into what you're doing.
They
appreciate what you're doing, and it means something to others.
Thank you.
That's what this means when I look around here.
I mean, we have some amazing companies that have supported 555. I mean, we're sitting here with a can of FitAid. FitAid supported 555 from almost day one. I was on a podcast, and the owner was on there, and he's like, I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think you're going in the right direction.
It's good stuff, man.
Brute Force, Assault, Born Primitive, Fork and Hose, AJ from Fork and Hose, big guy on Instagram.
Fork and Hose, they just shared our kitchen video.
Oh yeah, the pancakes.
The pancake.
Yeah.
That was nice of them. They shared that. I saw it on there. I'm like, holy cow, we made it to this.
Oh, dude,
that's pretty cool.
You want to meet AJ? I can introduce you to Chef AJ.
That'd be great.
Get him to cook you some food, man.
I'm sure it's better than the pancakes.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, AJ can get down.
That's
right?
awesome.
So, and he and I, we came up on social media together on Instagram. That's how we met. By 555 had it was like, dude, I got 2,000 followers. How many do you have? And he's like 800. How do I get 2,000?
That's cool.
So
I just broke 1,300. I'm pretty happy about that.
Dude, be happy. Everything's a milestone. Even us, dude, I'm happy. 50,000. I'm like, yes, everything's huge, a milestone, man. Everything, because you work hard for that.
Sure.
And AJ, healthy cooking. He puts stuff out there. He puts out the unhealthy too, which you need sometimes.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Moderation. But he won guys grocery games, and he donated $3,000 to 555 out of his winnings, and we gave away a fitness grant.
That's
for
pretty
AJ.
Cool.
Yep. And we went to the firehouse and presented it. He cooked lunch. Then we worked out. It was great. And it's these things that you get people to buy in. And without corporate buy-in, we wouldn't be here anymore, which has been great. But our buy-in is when the one guy at a firehouse is doing a 555 workout. And next week, he does a 555 workout. And the next week, he does a 555 workout, but someone else joins him. Mm-hmm. And then a month later, someone else joins him. And that's how you get the ball rolling.
And that's literally how it happened for me.
That's it, right?
Before we even knew each other.
Yep.
Like I said, I was doing your workouts, man, and I had no clue that one day we'd be sitting here like this.
And your story is so not uncommon to me that I can almost finish it when people are telling me it.
Right.
And it's awesome. And every time, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
If you have that story, write in the comments below this. Let's hear your story.
Absolutely.
Because it's amazing. And you never know who you're going to inspire. And I think that's something else. When you asked what 555 has given me, never thought I'd be inspiring people. Never thought I was meant to do this. And here we are with a guy at the last show. A guy met me. His wife is on Instagram.
Okay.
I think it's think she's St. Florian Fitness. I could be wrong.
I've seen her.
And he's like, I'm like, that's your wife? She's awesome. And he's like, dude, she's going to be so jealous I met you. Right? So jealous. And I'm like, let's take a picture. We can make her really jealous. I'm going to get you in a doghouse. But, you never know who she may inspire. Who any of the 555 Fitness advocates may inspire. And we're all different. And I think that's the key, too.
It's funny you talk about inspiration because when I started this, I honestly started this because I was a little frustrated with the culture and the way we're going, and I thought, man, we gotta kind of harness the senior guy mentality a little bit and mentor, not beat up, but mentor these new firefighters and make sure they realize
build them up.
Yeah, make sure they realize that there's a lot more to this, and then of course with mental illness and mental health within firefighting and PTSD awareness is so important, man. So I thought maybe if I have a platform to do that. It'd be good. I had no idea that I was actually inspiring people.
It's crazy.
The messages I get and the emails and the Instagram messages and, hey bro, I watched your episode. It really meant a lot to me. It really hit home. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. I was never looking for that, honest to God. I just thought it'd be cool to kind of talk to people, and
it's fun. It's what you like to do. I like to do fitness, and all these other people like to do it too, right? And you get all this back from it. And it's unreal to think
it's very rewarding.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely priceless.
Yeah, and to you keep that culture. Like trust me, man. I like to break balls as much as the next guy. Yeah. Like there's the 555 family is like the most dysfunctional firehouse family.
I just said that yesterday.
Like these folks from San Diego, New York City, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Roanoke, Virginia, Denton, Texas, Sylvania, Ohio. I mean, I could just go on with different places, but you put us all together. And oh my God, I was like, I don't know how we've never been in a bar fight, but we are all going to jail if that ever happens. Like these people, but they're all passionate about the mission.
Yeah, very passionate.
And at FDIC, it's when we get the most of us together, and I love that week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Is my first year. I'm excited.
Dude, I'm
excited.
It is. FDIC, if you think, you get that message, and it's like, oh, it's great. You inspired someone. But when you meet them at FDIC, which you will because there's so many people there,
right?
Dude, that pretty much carries me through to the next year.
Cool.
So I'm on my lull now. Maybe I'll quit. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll shut down. Go to FDIC. I'm like, nah, we're gonna take over the world. Yeah. 555 worldwide. I'm back into it.
It's great to to see the kids come in here and stuff. How important is family to you, man, and keeping this all together? How do you balance it?
My wife, Mrs. Pip, balances it.
She does. Yeah.
She keeps me in check.
Good.
She keeps the balance because there was a time where maybe 555 was me. Literally, I was doing it 24/7, 365. And the two little guys that came in here, they were getting neglected, because Daddy was gone for 24 hours. Daddy goes away for 555. Daddy's shipping T-shirts. Daddy's doing a podcast. And maybe, I don't know, a year and a half ago, she reined me in. And she was like, no. We need to get back on par with these little boys because they are your number one, and they are. And I really thought I was doing it right by them, but she made it obvious to me that I needed to change some of the things I did.
Right.
Because they're it. Family's number one, just like my dad, my whole family, everybody. And those little guys, that was not a paid for ad. I didn't tell Declan to come in.
No, I know that. Hey, yeah,
come in and say this. Buddy.
That's so cool. But
right. But they see it.
Absolutely.
And when I leave, it's hard. It's hard on them. It's hard on them to leave for 24 hours. And then some days I'll do a firehouse, drive right to Newark Airport, get on a plane, go somewhere. 72 hours later, come home at night, land at 11 o'clock at Newark.
Right.
Come home, sleep 5 hours, and to the firehouse again. So my
hectic. It's a hectic schedule.
That schedule's a week away.
Yeah.
And it's a week of working the whole time. And they don't see me. They see me on FaceTime. But we try to teach them the importance of why Daddy's going away, to help all these other people. And they see it, and they love it, man. And they eat it up out here. They get it in this gym with me. With these sandbags, you could pick it up right back there. The little mini bag is my right there.
Oh, nice.
Right? So you get my little mini bag there that my little man uses, right?
That's pretty cool.
Yep, so
and that's, how special this is, man. Because he's
doing it with
Dad.
Yeah, right? How about that?
Yeah.
Yep, doing it with Dad. And they can do the moves.
And don't think for a second he's ever going to forget that.
No, I know.
Bro, this is burned as a memory, this stuff. This is huge, bro.
Yeah, they love it, man. And that's it. So they're my number one. And I preach that too. Again, I lecture all over the place. And people are like, oh, come in and teach us about fitness. And I'm like, I'm going to teach you about fitness but I'm going to teach you about why you should be doing fitness.
Right. What's behind it?
Exactly.
Which is actually more important.
And they're my why. You know, at the end of the day, they are my why. And I ask people when I teach, I throw their picture up with Tracy, with my wife, Tracy. And I say, you know, these guys are my why. But why aren't they your why? Because could you ever look those three in the face at my funeral and say, I wasn't fit enough to save your dad, that my fitness let me down, my grip strength let me down? You know, that's the brotherhood.
Right.
If I'm going to lay it out there for you, I'm laying it out there for your kids, because I want to look at them and say, I did everything I could to save your mom or dad.
That's
everything.
Again, you can't put a price tag on it.
It's a way bigger part of it.
And that's the bigger picture.
Huge picture. And we all have that.
Absolutely.
Right? We all do. And that's where in 5 years, this change in the fire service, I mean, it's happening.
Oh, it's definitely it's amazing what's happened in the last 5 years, right, for the fire service.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
We played a very small part in that. That's all I'm going to say. There's been a lot of great people.
I disagree. I think it's a little bit more than what you're saying. You know, again, you're a humble guy. I appreciate that. I like that. But we know the one thing I'll say about the fire service and how awesome this is. We've never met each other before outside of Instagram, talking on Instagram, whatever.
He asked me my real name 5 days ago.
Right. So that in itself just proves that there's no BS right now.
Yep.
But what's fun is that we were sitting here talking for about an hour, and the cool thing is it's like we're like best of friends right now.
Yeah, the time has gone on like nothing. Yeah.
Right, and it's like that is what the fire service does for us, because if we were just strangers we met, and we wouldn't be able to do this. No. We'd be like, oh, so what's your favorite color?
It's green.
That's my favorite color.
No, it's not.
I swear to God. I swear to God, it's green. I swear to God. So, and then like, what's your favorite food? That's what we'd be doing. But because we have this brotherhood,
this thing that no one can describe. Right. Someone, if you're out there and you can describe it, honestly, put it out there. Because there's a lot of people that are trying. Yeah. And a lot of people are getting it pretty close. And I don't think anyone will ever nail it on the head. Like we were saying, that firemanship. Right. You know, firemanship's a big deal now. And there's a lot of people talking about it and a lot of conferences. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's firefighting, if it's the kitchen table, if it's fitness, I don't know what it is. But it's something, and we'll figure it out. Yeah.
It's just right here, man. It's just, you know, two brothers talking. But before I let you off the hot seat, right?
Sweet.
Is there anything you want to add to anybody out there? Anybody you want to thank? Or
oh my God, if you wanted me to thank people, I'd be here for the next 30 minutes, man. There's so many people I could thank, and there's just far too many to name, right? But I think some of the keys too that we didn't really talk about is anyone can apply. Let's try this again. Anyone can apply for the 555 Fitness grant.
All right, and I'm going to put that in the link.
The link? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll put all the information out there.
555fitness.org. Go on the website, download the grant application. The first one we're going to do this year is going to be for a combination department. Cool. I know that much. I don't remember how we're going to go in the theory of it all, but excuse me. We have some other really cool things coming up with some big time sponsors and
so
abilities for departments to get grants maybe through other means than just applying.
Really?
Yes. So
that's exciting.
It is. It's really exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting.
If you're going to be at FDIC, we have a very cool thing that's going to happen at FDIC aside from our booth in Lucas Oil Stadium. Something beyond that.
So where should they look for that?
555fitness.org, Instagram 555fitness, Facebook 555fitness.
Okay. You
can download our free fitness app in the App Store, 555fitness. You get 2 workouts a day, and there's videos on there if you don't know how to do the move.
Cool.
The app was one of the huge things that we did through some great partners that allows fitness to be more accessible.
Good.
Wouldn't be doing my not-for-profit job if I didn't say we do accept donations. We have a donate button. We also sell T-shirts. Our latest T-shirt is our green St. Patrick's Day T-shirt.
Oh, cool.
I just did the final order of them.
Nice.
We are not ordering anymore. So if you want one, the slogan this year is "Don't bet on luck. Cool. Stronger is better."
I like it.
So
I like it a lot.
Yeah. So
well, the good thing is, I do not have the cool sponsors you have. Maybe one day, but I do have an awesome company that just told us, "Hey, we like what you're doing. We want in."
Sweet.
And the cool thing is, this guy was a fireman, right?
This is exciting. There's a box.
I have a box. I have a gift for you, bro.
Dude, I didn't. Come on this show. You get free gifts.
Listen, I have a gift for you, and this is pretty cool actually. So, Police and Fire Tags.
Okay.
Okay. They're on Instagram also. Great company. They made you your very own PintheQ
Sweet.
cup.
Oh, and it's got my name on and my episode on it.
Episode 14.
I'm going with a pound on this one.
Yeah, man.
Episode 14. No way, dude.
Yeah, so that's yours. You can, now you got something to drink hot coffee in, bro.
Sweet, which I do love coffee, so.
Yeah, so
Dude,
that's for
that's
you, bro.
awesome, and
Yeah.
it's customized.
Come on, man.
Very cool.
Listen,
man.
I had to come big for this episode.
You gotta come
bro.
in. You gotta come big, man. When you come into this joint, you gotta come big, man.
And then I see you got a board over there that
I
definitely
do.
needs stickers, man.
Need sticker board.
So I have a decal
Sweet.
for the sticker board.
Sweet.
And then listen, every guest that comes on PintheQ,
Sweet.
they got to get the patch. So
Cool.
that
Love
patch
it.
is from Eagle Emblems and Graphics. Sal, he is the freaking man.
And are they in New Jersey or no?
Staten Island.
Okay, yeah. They've been around for a
Oh,
while,
real
actually.
a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
All those FDNY T-shirts you see, all the house T-shirts,
Yeah,
he does
yeah.
them all. And
That's awesome.
He's such a good guy, man. He's always looking to help out. So
Cool.
every guest gets one of those too.
Cool.
And of course, helmet decals.
Gotta have them. What's going on? One's going
Bro,
on that helmet, and then there's some little kids out there
It's
that
got to have to happen, man. That's for sure.
these will go in their room on their sticker board.
Awesome.
For sure.
Oh, they got sticker boards?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
come
so
on,
cool, man.
So it stinks because this is the second Pip's Pain Pit. I don't know if you could see the whole sign, but it's my wife made it up as Pip's Pain Pit. This is Pip's Pain Pit 2.
Okay.
I did a sticker board in my old gym in my basement, but I couldn't take it with me. And there were some stickers on there that didn't make this one, and I'm like, oh man.
Well, listen,
Like,
for me, it's an honor to be able to have my logo on that, because I'm looking at some of the logos on there, man, and there's some good ones on there.
There's some awesome people up there, man. You
Really
see-
good, awesome,
we got
really awesome people. So
Trucker,
it's an
Eric-
honor to be on there.
Trucker, Eric Marsh Wildland, Chief Miller, Hawaiian Fire, King Row Athletics, Maui Fire, ESS is another big good friend of mine. Dude, they're everywhere, man. Like,
Lulu Fire, it's
there's so many people that I've met that it's unreal, and I keep meeting people, and I'm like, you have to remind me how we've talked, and it's really, I'm like, what's your name on Instagram? Because I may remember it that way.
yeah, it's cool. I've had so many awesome people reach out to me, and just people that want to help.
Yeah,
you
wanna
know,
help, man.
And like one company in particular is Axe Head Threads.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know who they were. I don't know anything about them. I see the product they're putting out on Instagram. It's like really quality stuff. Like the embroidery is like, it's sick, man. It's so
and
good.
embroidery is no joke.
Yeah, and I'm liking his stuff. I'm like, wow, that's really nice. And next thing you know, boom, he's reaching out to me. Hey, man, we made you a hat. We sent it to you. I'm like, what?
With like you were just thinking about liking his stuff, or you
No,
told
I
him
like
you
this
liked
stuff.
it? Oh, okay, you were
Yeah, I
liking
was
it,
like,
like
I was
hitting
just
the
like,
like button.
yeah,
Gotcha,
I'm like,
yeah.
God, this is good embroidery. It's good stuff, man. He's, I like the stuff he's doing, like real nice stuff, custom
Yeah.
stuff. And next thing you know, he's like, hey, man, he reaches out to me. He's like, hey, what's your address? We made you this, and he sends me a picture of a PintheQ hat. Like, that's awesome, man.
And that's how so many 555 partnerships started, right? Like so many people being like, oh, hey, we love what you're doing. Can we do something with you? Sure. And listen, some have worked out wonderful. Some have totally shit the bed and tanked. And some have been, it was good for me, good for you, but maybe we move on. And it's business, but it's still cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we said this before. It's like Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And what a great line it is,
Yeah,
man.
dude,
I could work on so many different levels.
that's why he's the great one.
He is the great one. And speaking of, like you just had, people that want to help out. Like you mentioned Chief Miller.
Yeah.
Chief Miller's another guy who reached out to me. He's like, hey, man, I like what you're doing. Now, he's a big deal, this guy, and he took the time out to see what I'm doing and likes what I'm doing. And again, these are good things.
Good people. It's just good
good
people
things,
all
yeah.
around.
Absolutely.
And you all come together for a mission,
Right.
a purpose, and you may not even know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just trying to do something better. And
Absolutely.
I use the hashtag better than yesterday. Because if I can be better than yesterday, physically, mentally, I'm not the most spiritual guy, but I'm a Catholic Italian from New Jersey, so spiritually, anything like that.
Bro, no one's gonna ever forget you because of that haircut, man. I think it's badass.
And I have a cool haircut.
That
and
is
this
a
may have
badass-
messed it.
No, you.
I put them on right.
You nailed it, man.
Nice.
Yeah, you still
No mirror, and I got them. I didn't even look. I'm just like, I don't think this is gonna mess up my hair.
It's funny, bro, because when I come here, I'm like, oh man. I go, he's not gonna wear the headphones. But you did.
You need earbuds.
Thanks again, bro.
No problem, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate coming on the show.
Awesome, man. Thanks.